I did this exercise. It's called a North Star exercise where you write down like your dream life and then you put like dollar amounts to all of it and then you work it backwards. And like how much money, how much revenue would I need to do in this business to kind of do all the things I'd like to do in life? And I'm pretty happy with like, I don't need a fancy car. I'm just trying to live a good life. So my number was 75K months. If I hit 75K months, all the things I'd ever want to do for the kids, with my family and life, I'd be able to do that with that. So that's kind of was my number. So I'm really proud that not that many years later, we're kind of like, I'm seeing that as the next goal.
Hello, listeners. This is another episode of Revenue Playbook Chronicles. I'm your host, Gene Lytle. Thanks once again for watching. I have a special guest. I have Mary Gunther. She is the founder and CEO of the Social G Co. It is a social media agency or marketing agency in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Mary, welcome. How are you doing today?
I am doing great, Gene. It's actually my son's 8th birthday today, so I'm having a great day and I'm grateful.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. How is the weather? And I know I'm not supposed to ask that, but how is the weather in Grand Rapids, Michigan?
If you know anything about West Michigan, we are by Lake Michigan, right off the coast. So today is a beautiful day, a little chill in the air, but next week it'll be 100, I hear. So that's typical West Michigan weather. It's a little volatile at times.
Nice, nice. Well, I'm supposed to be going to Michigan every year because there's a family reunion every year for us, and I just don't seem to make it. So they don't even know what I look like, what I sound like. I have no idea. So.
Well, I will plug Michigan. It's beautiful in the summer. Highly recommend. So you should try and make it one of these days.
Awesome. I will do that. And maybe we'll meet up. Maybe take me out for a tea or something.
Be great.
Okay. So, Mary, the last time we spoke, I found out that you had a very unique journey, and I'm excited to hear about it. So if you could start us off on the journey and kind of bring us up to today.
Sure. Yeah, so my journey is a bit interesting. As you said, I'm a founder of a social media marketing company currently, but my career really was built on human resources. So I was an HR leader. I was SHRM certified. I have a master's degree in organizational development. So I was really in the HR field. I'm a people first person. And it was a great many years I spent doing HR. I also was always working closely under leadership. So throughout those years, I learned so much about managing people, running companies, making decisions. I also worked at some community organizations that I would be part of board meetings and how big decisions are made here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I really have had a great career over the years of just continuing to learn and grow. I always had an entrepreneurial spirit and I always kind of thought about having something of my own. I thought about launching an HR consultant company over the years, but just it never happened. And throughout all of these years of working, of course, I met my husband, we got married and we started having kids, which also changes things in a career. In a career trajectory. So like many people, we'll kind of fast forward to 2020. So many people had their worlds rocked in 2020. We won't say the name. We won't go there, but many things change. At the time in 2020, had a 2-year-old and I was pregnant. So it was a very scary time. And at that point, I had decided to take a step back from working and have my baby safely. That was in August of 2020, and we named her Grace, which was fitting for the time. So I had a 2-year-old, I had a newborn. We're still very much in the pandemic time frame. I'm not working. I love to work though, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I gonna do? What's next for me? So I found this wine company that I could be a consultant for and sell wine and earn commission. And I thought I could do that. I could do that from home. So I self-taught myself social media essentially. I built a personal brand around, wine and mom life. And I started to see the power of social media and see how you can really build relationships on social media if done right. And people started asking me about what I was doing and how I was doing it and can I teach them? And I organically picked up clients along the way. And it was, again, still totally a side thing. I was still selling the wine. Go ahead, Jean.
So I just had a quick question about that
Yep.
because I thought you were going to start out. I self-taught myself how to drink wine.
I knew how to drink wine at that point.
So with you teaching people the social media, how much wine drinking was involved?
Man. Well, listen, I learned a lot of lessons during that time that teaching a group of people how to make a reel is not recommended. So it's just it was too much. So, but I was really wanting to help people because so many people struggle with social media. I mean, still to this day, I mean, this was 5 years ago. Still, everyone still, I joke with people that I have a fast growing business because everyone hates social media like, for their business to like manage it, to do it, to execute. Yeah, so I learned a lot in those years. Again, still doing it on the side. And at some point, I realized I think this could be something. I think there's a problem out there. I think I can help. I think I could be the one to help others. And I launched the Social G Co formally at the beginning of 2023. So, not that long ago in the world of business, but we have scaled so quickly and we've picked up some amazing clients here. And I do think, my background lends itself to building a business. And so that's where we are today. So launched it. I brought in people from day one. So I will say when you build a business, I knew I never wanted to just create a job for myself. I always wanted to be a business owner. So I knew early on I need to bring people in. And I knew early on I need a bookkeeper. I'm going to make investments in what I need, software, structure, processes. So I did that from day one. And since, beginning of 2023 to now, I will say mid 2026, so going from very low rev, since this is the revenue playbook here, very low rev. And right now we're about at 35K months, which I'm very proud of. And that's been a journey we can get into, but, and then what the next chapter looks like. But I've just love what we do and it's creative and we can still help businesses grow and be successful on social media because still so many businesses, and I'm talking about established brands. Like these are brands that have been around for decades, large companies. We're serving a lot of mid-market now, so they have a marketing department. The social media still is the biggest pain point for them because it's a monster and it takes a team of experts to get it right. And we provide that to our clients. We are their embedded team. And it's amazing to see the relief when they don't have to worry about that piece anymore for their business. So anyway, I'll stop there, but I could keep going on, and believe me.
So here's the part that's interesting. So, you with the HR background, you weren't used to going out after trying to get business. You slowly had to learn that scenario. Once you made that commitment that, okay, this is what I'm going to do, was there a learning curve or what? Trying to go get someone, convince somebody, hey, I can do your social media, or did you already have clients that were able to get you started? How did that look?
Yeah, I had clients that had kind of come in, on the side. And so I had, a couple clients. This wasn't anything super massive. But, what I had to do is I had to build my brand too. And I had to have a solid brand. If you're in marketing, you have to have a solid brand, website, social media presence. Obviously, for us, that's very important that we're walking the walk. And it drives me crazy, Jean, when I see other marketing companies out there and their presence is not great. And I'm thinking, why? That's like and a lot of marketing companies say, well, we're busy serving the clients and we do it for them, but you have to do it for yourself. So I am very committed to our own brand, Social G Co. Last summer we did a whole rebrand, refresh, new website. I mean, we've continued to grow and evolve. But to answer your question, I'm a people person, as I mentioned, being in HR. I always took those personality tests where I'd score really high and like woo. So I do feel like I have that like sales side to me that where people are just drawn to me and it's easy for me to talk to people and I'm just relatable and I try and just be there to be of service versus we got to close this deal. But I've also learned and self-taught myself a lot of sales now because I was the primary business development person for the company, which recently you had asked me, anything new going on. And June 1st, I brought in a business development person to help support because I realized I was bottlenecking my own company with just me doing it. So to answer your question, I think I have natural abilities in that, but I never want to rely on warm referrals, which are great and we get those, but I have larger goals. And if that means that you need to also be having inbound come in, it can't just be people word of mouth. And I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket. So we've focused a lot on outbound and lead generation activities, and building a brand that attracts our ideal clients as well.
So, do you mind me asking what kind of outbound activities do you do to try to get clients? That might help some people. Is like, well, if a marketing company uses these tactics, maybe I can use these tactics.
Yeah, sure. So we're doing here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, West Michigan. West Michigan's very relationship driven. So we do a ton of networking and we plug into groups. We're members of the chamber. We attend the Econ Club luncheon. So I think finding the places where your ideal clients are, not everyone you want to serve are at mixers or certain events that go on. So we've been more intentional about where are we showing up and where do we want a presence. So we do a lot of that and, show face in the community and be a positive contributor to the community here. So we do that, but also we're developing new strategies now. So I love this idea that you can kind of go out and look at companies you'd love to work for or work with, like your dream clients, and just shoot off, like find someone in there or like just shoot off a message that you can get in front of people. I saw it online. I think that someone just every Wednesday, they just like kind of send a message to someone they'd love to have as a client. So I like that approach. And for us doing social media, it's easier for us to look at a company's social media presence and immediately be like, they need help. Like we know we could help them. So it's a little easier to see like that's our business. So we can kind of see what's going on. And then, yeah, again, just reach out and build relationships or just start the conversation and let them know we're here. So we're working on that right now of like, who do we really want to partner with and who do we want to serve? Because I think because of our branding and the work we did last summer around our messaging, positioning, branding, I also have done a lot of podcasts and, gotten published in other places, which I think is helpful for search and AI, especially. We are getting inbound, but we're still not getting the inbound. It's about 50-50 of like the people that are our ideal clients and that some that are still like, I'm like, I don't know if they're a fit for us anymore. They might have been 3 years ago, but now we've evolved. So still working through that. But again, it's an evolution. When you have a company, it's just an evolution and you have to just keep it. It can't be stagnant, I think is the main thing. And then just lastly is I am working on some video marketing, putting some paid ads on some videos that we can run on Meta and other platforms. So that'll probably be the next iteration, but like anyone, I'm a business owner. Before we drop money on ads, I want to make sure some pieces are in place first.
Got it. I think that makes sense too, because I kind of heard that you can do some paid ads, but it's nice that if you can get your social media up organically first, your paid ads will work a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell people if they want to jump into paid, I will say we need to work. Let's get your organic together for 3 to 6 months first.
So you were mentioning your ideal customer. Tell our listeners what your ideal customer is at this time, because it could change. But at this time, what is your ideal customer?
Yeah. So we have picked up some well-known brands, at least in our area, that are just decades long companies. So where we are really thriving are serving established brands, oftentimes with marketing departments, or they have marketing efforts in place and even a marketing team, and their social media is not reflecting the excellence of their real life reputation, and it's a disconnect. And so they're doing marketing, they have a website, they're doing billboards, like whatever they're doing, but the social media has been a piece of the marketing ecosystem they haven't been able to figure out. So maybe they've hired in-house or they've worked with other agencies and it just they haven't had success. We want to be that team that comes in and embeds with their company and executes a social media strategy that works with their overall marketing strategy. So what's nice about what we do is like this is all we do. So we can come into a company on board, which we have a pretty extensive onboarding. So we really want to learn. So we learn their business during our onboarding process. And I do think my background in HR and organizational development is really great for this is like we need to understand their business from the inside out to market it and like understand their funnel and their business goals. So we want our work to tie to business goals so that they can start understanding how is social media playing into what we're trying to do here for your bottom line. So we come in and do that and then kind of hit the ground running. I mean, this is all we do. So you're not going to have to like worry. Like our content is top notch. Our creative is amazing. We understand how to tie content to moving the needle on business goals they have. So I think that's been a really great spot for us to niche is, and so we serve again established brands that have been around for decades. Maybe some are family owned. We have a couple franchises on our client list. So these are, franchises that there's a local presence here in Grand Rapids that they want a local team for, or we are running the social media like for the franchise so that all the franchisees can see like what corporate's doing as a best practice. So we try and help all the other franchisees be successful on social media too. So that's been an interesting niche because franchises are a little complicated, but we've really found great success in there and by being part of those types of businesses. So I would say like we're at this point, it's more mid-sized established small to mid-sized companies. We're working closely with marketing leads and founders. So yeah, it kind of runs the gamut. So as far as industry, we don't really niche in industry. We have an auto repair shop, a large coffee shop, but we have a smash room that just came on, which is like a rage room, which I'm excited about. A bridal shop. We have an event venue that, for weddings, corporate events. So we really are able to serve many different industries successfully.
Sweet. That sounds pretty awesome. I tend to see some different companies go, well, my niche is this. I stay within my realm, but I like the fact that you have the ability to pivot to whatever industry you want. And it sounds like you got to start learning. Like if you're in a new industry, like the Smash thing, you have to learn now what they are all about. And so that could be.
Yeah. I mean, it does take time. And the more time we partner, the better everything gets for most things in life, right? I mean,
Right.
but we're really good now. We have such a good onboarding process that we are good at setting the solid foundation. So yeah, but that's what makes it fun. Like I don't know, it makes it fun to have variety of industry and business and people and my team. It always comes down to people. My team is really great now. I actually have 5 people now. So they're great at what they do and they're managing the accounts, running the content. What's a little different about our agency is our clients get like one account manager that's responsible for like the strategy, the execution, the creative, all of it. And then we have a director of creative that oversees everything across accounts as well. So our clients get a lot of eyes on their account and there's multiple people that are responsible for ensuring their success, but they do have like one point person, which is nice so they know exactly who they're dealing with.
Yeah, one throat to choke.
Yeah, hopefully not, but yeah.
Right. Hopefully not. No, not a problem. So tell me about today's market, the trends that are happening that could be influencing or helping or hindering your business. And AI may be one of them, especially you being in marketing. There's a lot of contradiction of whether AI is good, whether it's not. Maybe we can get your opinion. And if you are using AI, how are you using it?
Yeah. I mean, it's like the elephant in every room today is AI. So yes, AI at this point, as far as my attitude and how we're approaching it is like it's here and it's here to stay and we're fully embracing it. Now, we are not embracing it for what we do creatively because I do think there's validity to original content and video and human aspect. I do think things are evolving so fast where AI will play a role in social media content. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I know the state of New York is already has a law either in the works where if it's an AI generated piece of content, you have to disclaim that. So for like ethically, like if someone's doing a review, it's not just a made up person.
Right.
So anyway, we're staying really on top of it internally in my company. I always like to take the summers to kind of do something big, like a big project. So we are engaging with an AI consultant, and she's actually is helping us implement Claude into our company for efficiencies. And we are creating client facing dashboards right now. We are just enhancing our operations and our processes, and then we're using AI a lot for our clients for things to hold together the voice of their account or how we're coming up with certain ideas, brainstorming. Like, so it's basically us humans with AI. You will always need a human in the AI process. So what we're hoping to be for clients is, you still need a team to do this, even if it's AI driven, you're going to still need humans to manage that. And we want to be the humans still for clients. So as a business owner, I'm staying really tapped in. A person I had talked to that, I mean, he's a real big name in social media world. He thinks there's about a 5-year timeline on like for companies like mine, as far as like, because not all companies are going to adopt this immediately. So I think for us, it's just staying ahead of it, embracing it. It's here. It's not going to go away. And to continue just to make smart decisions and serve our clients in the best way possible.
Makes sense. Well said. Now on your business, do you have some goals that you have put out there? And maybe is Mary looking at doing other things? Obviously, as your kids grow, you're going to have more things tugging at you of what's going to take up your time. But what's next for Mary?
Yeah. So speaking of AI, because we just were talking about it, I am working on, because once you start one business, it's you want to start more. I'm working with someone right now to actually be creating some AI products around marketing to launch maybe a new business around that. So that's very, very early stages. So that's something that's happening. Other goals related to the social G Co right now is, I kind of mentioned where we are now with revenue. I want to double that again by the end of next year. So I think we're poised to get there, probably sooner than that. Because I mentioned, I think I brought on a person who's helping me with business development. So that was a strategic move. And then with the enhancements with AI, with our capabilities and just efficiencies, I really hope that with all these things combined, we'll be able to get to that next revenue level. So when I started my business, I mean, I did this exercise. It's called a North Star exercise where you write down like your dream life and then you put like dollar amounts to all of it and then you work it backwards and like how much money, how much revenue would I need to do in this business to kind of do all the things I'd like to do in life. And believe me, I'm pretty happy with like I don't need a fancy car. I'm just trying to live a good life.
Right, right.
So my number was 75K months. If I hit 75K months, all the things I'd ever want to do for the kids, with my family and life, I'd be able to do that with that. So that's kind of was my number. So I'm really proud that not that many years later, we're kind of like, I'm seeing that as the next goal. And yeah, it's exciting. So I saw one of a mentor of mine was like, why, like, you need a bigger goal. And I'm like, yeah, but I feel like that goal right now for me is still motivating. So we'll just keep it there.
There you go. So I think you're basically halfway there, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, a lot of businesses, I feel like they scale too fast, and I never want to overpromise, underdeliver. So I'm
Right.
okay. Like I'm okay with a more managed growth because I don't, reputation, especially in this industry, is important.
So basically, it's like 3 years got you to this point. Is that about right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that the next year and a half, you'll be able to probably close that gap big time.
Yeah, I mean, I think, day one, like, I mean, let's just say year 0 to 3 is a lot different than, year 3 to 6. And my hope is that, yeah, I'm able to collapse time a little more even.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
you're
nice.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like, especially in the marketing field and what you're doing, you're going to be able to close that gap quickly. And you'll be on my show again saying, Gene, I moved my goal to this. And I'm going to say, well, what did you add to your list of things that you wanted to do? So that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Right. So we know about your journey. We know about kind of what's happening in today's market. We know about your goals. My question that I like to ask toward the end of the podcast can go anywhere. It sometimes goes personal, sometimes goes political, sometimes goes religious, some advice. So if our listeners didn't get anything out of this podcast, or maybe they just got distracted or something, but you had a certain message that you wanted to get through to them, that if they leave with anything, they leave with this message. What is it, the one that's most important to you?
Yeah, great question. Due to the nature of my business, social media, I guess my message to people out there that own businesses, work in marketing departments, have these established brands is you don't have to have a bad social media presence, and you don't have to suffer through it. Like, find a team that you like, that does good work, that can take that over for you, and your life will be so much easier. And you will also like be proud of sending people to your social media pages versus like, please don't look at my social media. So I would say that is social media, it's still one of these like really hot topics people have a lot of feelings about, but it's a business tool at the end of the day. And if your presence is lacking, or people go to it and it's not resonating, or it's not telling your brand story, that is a huge missed opportunity. So you don't have to live like that. Like, live that way, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So there's teams out there like mine that get it and that can help you.
That is awesome. Something just told me to ask this question for whatever reason is, do you have any advice for someone that is thinking about maybe maneuvering like you maneuvered from HR or into another business, maybe what they can do, or what you think they should watch for or whatever if they wanted to start a new business?
Yeah, I mean, back to the AI conversation. I mean, there's so many opportunities to be made in AI. I would tell someone, if they are even a little interested and they're embracing it, I think there's a lot of opportunity to start businesses around AI, whether it's in helping people set it up, creating products. There's so many things. So I would say that is like the biggest opportunity, dare I say, of our time, could be this technology. I will also say, if you're thinking about starting a business, is that you need to be prepared that everything about yourself as a person that you haven't dealt with, or you have things around money or relationships, all of that's going to come into your business, and you need to like work through a lot of that to truly be like leader you need to be. So many people, like, you bring your whole self into a business. So I've done a lot of work around, you asked me about sales. I've done a lot of work to like increase my confidence, help me learn things to be more successful, help me to let go of things that are holding me back. So that's kind of more of like a woo woo thing about business, but it's so true, is that, you know, if you have money issues in your real life and then you launch a business, you're going to like your money issues are going to come into your business. So you got to find people that can help you work through that, or hand it off. So I see a lot of people, I'm just thinking, you don't need to struggle like this. Like, hand it off or work through it. So I would say, like, that's more of a personal thing, is it exposes a lot about yourself. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm just too deep or I'm a sensitive person, but I've just found, it exposes a lot about your beliefs when you're trying to grow a business. So
Yeah, totally makes sense. Well, Mary, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been a pleasure. We'll have fun, and we may have another one later on after we find out what your new goals will be. Folks, thank you for watching another episode of Revenue Playbook Chronicles. If you liked our content, please like, share, comment, push whatever buttons you got there. Somebody said you can even hype it now. I don't even know what that is yet, but and we'll have fun. We'll see you on the next one.